Middle, Jules. Stevie. Yeah. Unlucky. Turn and fight. Jump.
Left wing back.
Two Georges, stick with Bailey.
Coming in.
Time, Ali! Stay on! Left foot! Yeah! Come on! Keep playing, come on. Speed him up, please, speed him up. Good job, boys. Step on him. Well done, Lucky.
Get down, play.
Hold, yeah. Will, hold it. Emmanuel. On his son, Stevie. Fast. Back, come in. Stevie, Lockie.
Pass, pass, pass,
First
pass.
contact, back in, yeah? First, come on. First contact, we get it. First contact, we get it. Will, back. Up, halfway. Good on, Ollie. Oh my God. Ollie, get it. Hold it up. Waiting. Yeah, when you got weak, men on you. Keep it. Get up.
Go in there.
Step, come on, step up. Keep it, Jules, men on.
Ali. Go down.
Time. Go back.
Just keep it, boys.
Get under him. Back. One more. Look away. Ready. Yeah, Weedy. Men on back. Jules. Back, Jules. Jules, man. Come on, Jules.
Let Weedy take it. Go back, Jules. Let Weedy take it. Try.
Pass.
Step.
Back.
Left, go.
Yeah, back one.
Keep playing.
Step. Go.
Go now. Again, guys.
2 minutes, boys. Run, run.
Hello everyone, hope you're enjoying this long weekend, the second long weekend in a row for us. It's time for the League One Men's Match of the Round on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. It's high-flying SD Raiders against Bulls FC Academy. And this is Eric Subihana with the commentary. Pitch side, love this close-up look at what we're about to see from the men's second tier in New South Wales. And yes, SD Raiders versus Bulls. SD Raiders in their normal kit, the green jerseys with the white shirts. What a great colour combination that is. While the Bulls in the predominantly black playing strips. Let's quickly run through the two lineups. So firstly for SD Raiders, in goal, number 1, Michael Figuera. Then number 2, Ham Donghua. Number 4, Cooper Hannigan. Number 6, Ryoma Takagi. Number 7, Michal Marcic. Number 8, the captain, James Letta. Number 12, Lachlan McGrath. Number 14, Noah Kianyese. Number 18, Charlie Ragg. Number 21, Sebastian Malfara. And number 22, Jonathan Sabatu. SD Raiders coached by Goran Luboya. While for the Bulls, they're coached by Nikolai Muller. What a player he was, by the way. But in goal for them, number 1, Alex Robinson. Then it's number 5, Will Mackay. Number 7, Atia Raraga. Number 10, Flynn Madden. He's the Bulls captain. Number 11, Zane Helware. Number 16, Kai Kasa. Number 17, Oliver Randazzo. Number 20, Sebastian Kirslovich. Number 24, Dean Bosniak. Number 27, Joshua Damevsky. And number 29, Ante Vojvodic. So our officials today, in the center with the whistle, Nicholas Farmer. Assistant closest to us will be John Garcia. The assistant on the far side, nearest the technical areas, will be Blake Sanchez-Cruz. Just a couple of last-minute checks. By the way, I might as well run through the two sets of substitutes. So for SD Raiders, we believe the backup keeper is Andrew Parkin. The others we may see later, Hydra Tone Fernandez, Tanakon Rugsat, Riley Cox-Barlow, Braden McPherson, and Noah Anderson. While on the Bulls bench, the backup keeper is Franklin Jan, and the others, Enrique Oliveira, Matthew Jackson, Levi Suriaga, Harry Menem, and Michael Kirslovich. If you walk in, well, at least depending on which entrance you use to walk into Ernie Smith Reserve, you might see the sign, "Welcome to the Fortress." And Ernie Smith definitely has been the Fortress for SD Raiders in 2025. 100% winning record at their home ground. And obviously in front of our cameras, they'll be looking to continue that record here today. That'll be the Bulls to kick us off. Now, a bit of a different look to what you may have seen on your previous visits to Ernie Smith Reserve. Obviously, we're using the synthetic reserve the synthetic field as there's the whistle. Away we go. And the Bulls kick off immediately intercepted before Bulls win it straight back. But so we're glad, given the kind of iffy weather we've had in recent times, it's good that SD Raiders do have this option to at least move games to synthetic field rather than having any kind of washouts. Of course, it has occurred to me, I've actually got to pay attention with this game for once, because one deflection and I could get a ball flying towards my face. But like I said, they're really up close. There's Farah. Pass was broken up. It's back to, I think, McGrath. McGrath, formerly of Northern Tigers. So clearly a man with a lot of experience playing in green and white. As it's forward towards Kianese, who loses the header. And then it's won by Casa for the Bulls. So for the Bulls, they enter this game in 7th position. And it's been a bit of a mixed bag, the results so far. Out of their 11 games, 4 wins, 4 draws, 3 defeats. A goal difference of just a +1. But look out for Zane Helware, number 11. He leads the Bulls in the goal tally for this season with 7. As it's headed back, I think, by Rag, and then worked back by Sabatu to the keeper Fugura, back to Sabatu. And the Bulls, as you'd expect from the A-League Academy, pressing high as Buzniak puts the pressure on. And back to Fugura, who'll try the other side. Now, I must say, I will do my best to see things on the far side of the field. If you're familiar with my commentary, you'll know my eyesight's frankly terrible. But as that's over Bozniak, and he's called for the foul, he's pinged for the foul anyway, little shove in the back. So SD Raiders will restart with the goal kick. And for the Bulls, they were involved. It's a bit of a shorter turnaround than what they'd be usually faced with. The rare Monday night game at their home ground in Adensa Park. It was a 2-2 draw with Dulwich Hill. It's also an even shorter turnaround for a couple of these players, particularly Dean Bozniak and Joshua Demevsky, who were involved in the A-League men's action last night at Campbelltown Sports Ground, where unfortunately for those two, there's a little bit of a shirt pull. But Marcic gets away, tries to bounce it off a teammate, and then there's the signal from Bulls keeper Alex Robinson to signal that he's got control of the situation. Yeah, but yes, for Dean Bozniak and Joshua Demevsky, they were in the matchday squad A-League men's action last night, but it was Macarthur losing 2-1 to Melbourne Victory, and so that unfortunately ended their A-League men's finals chances. A bit of a tumble off the ball. Bulls looking to use the far side. And Helware shoots. It's saved pretty comfortably by Figueira. There you go, a little taste of what Zane Helware offers. He was very confident that time, wanted to run at his defender, and why not? Because it was like near the edge of the box as Letta almost lost his footing, but dribbles well out of trouble before the Bulls take over. Demevsky. Actually, Demevsky, I said he was involved last night. Well, he was in the matchday squad. He actually was warming up for a fair bit. Didn't get on the field in the end, but good to see the man wearing my favorite number 27. He's taken to the synthetic field today. And of course, this is the earliest kickoff amongst our streams that we have on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. So I duck behind the fence just to make sure, just to protect myself in case there's an unfortunate deflection. And SD Raiders have won it back, and it's back with McGrath. Letta forward, and a bit of an awkward hop, but Alex Robinson, well, a good starting position, as the goalkeeper coaches, I believe they like to say, and good distribution as well to Demevsky. They'll go back to the keeper. And for Alex Robinson, there's yet City really played most of the games in Blacktown City's run to the 2022 NPL New South Wales Championship as he tries a little dink. It was Takagi getting his head to it. Unfortunately for the Bulls, it goes straight into Robinson's gloves. But yeah, although Robinson didn't start in the grand final, he did play most of the games. He was only a big part of the reason Blacktown won that 2022 NPL Championship. He was rewarded with a move to MacArthur FC, and now getting to play games like this for the Bulls FC Academy, as that wasn't, well, it could have been an awkward one, but Alex Robinson, just like Blacktown City keepers of years gone by, like Tristan Prendergast, Nenad Vekic, and of course, the GOAT of all Blacktown City goalkeepers, Matt Ryan. He's very comfortable playing out from the back. That's a good ball to Madden. It opens up, and it's parried, and the rebound is turned home, and the Bulls have planted their flag here at Ernie Smith Reserve. I think that's Varaga who did the thing that every young forward is taught to do. Run in when your teammate takes a shot. It just opened up for Flynn Madden. His shot wasn't held, and Atia Waraga on hand to score his fourth goal of the season. So Flynn Madden, and here's an early shout out, and it will not be the last one, to the man who's so much better than his predecessor, League One men's reporter Justin Smith, who has told me on a number of occasions how highly he rates Flynn Madden. And it's good positional awareness from Madden to find the space for the good shooting opportunity, and although he didn't score, it worked out for Waraga on the rebound. Yes, now, SD Raiders haven't conceded many goals this season, but now they have to play from behind, but they have scored a fair few. So this is far from over, as it's early warning after that foul, early warning to Michal Marcic, and the Bulls, they want to get on with it. Now it's Will Mackay, I think that is, yep, number 5 on the far side. Actually was quite a bit fortunate. It's my first League One men's commentary gig this season. First time I've seen the Bulls Academy this season. Only the second time I've been able to watch SD Raiders in person. But I think that's Krstlovic looking to ping it through, and he does get it through to Bosniak. So what are his options like in the middle? Cut back, and the shot. It bounces off McGrath, and luckily from an SD Raiders perspective, straight to the keeper Figuera, but Bulls have it back with Waraga. I'm just trying to see that last shot might have been from Madden again, who was again making a well-timed run. Back to Figuera, and Marcic has to be strong. Damevski's broken it up, so has Casa. Bulls possession once again. Yeah. After what I saw a warm-up, I tried to do my best with no knowledge of the teams. I'm a little bit less familiar with Bulls. Luckily, I was able to identify from a particular drill who was playing in the back four and who the two central midfielders were. So at least I've got that bit figured out. As I said, I'll do my best with what's on the far side of the field, but because of that warm-up drill, I was correctly able to guess that Will Mackay is the left back, starting left back for the Bulls. So on the other side, Stemevski, and Sabatu jumps in nicely. It's Stemevski once again. Now he'll switch it. Aiming for Mackay, and he's a good jump, and a nice header as well. Room to run for Zane Helwe. Into the box he goes. This could be dangerous. And Madden has a shot deflected wide. So these late runs by Flynn Madden are causing all sorts of problems. Helwe, as unselfish, saw that Madden was in the better position. The deflection takes it wide for the first corner of this afternoon's game. Helwe to take the corner. And as is usually the way, there's quite a crowd in the 6-yard box. As Helwe delivers, Guerra's up and didn't catch it cleanly, but he's parried it right to his feet and then fallen on the ball. So that's smart goalkeeping from the SD Raiders number 1. Now McGrath. So I'm not the greatest tactically. I'm certainly no round ball analyst, but I think SD Raiders are playing in a back three, which would consist of the captain James Letta, then Lachlan McGrath and Jonathan Sabatu. Crunching tackle from Marcic. He stayed down, but will go on. And I think Mackay was fouled there. Now, Marcic up, but not moving freely at all. Hopefully it's something he can run off, but we'll need to keep an eye on it. And Marcic will try to battle on, but the Bulls playing on. With Madden. Across to Damevski. And that's Bosniak, who works it back to Sebastian Krstlovic. And by the way, there's another Krstlovic on the bench. Yeah, Michael, as I said earlier. That's good work by McGrath to step in. Forward to Marcic, who has run it off, so moving a little bit more freely now, but not be able to find a teammate. Madden back to Krstlovic once again. So, as I said earlier, the Raiders' perfect winning record at Ernie Smith. In fact, it's still perfect winning record just at whatever ground they played at this season. The only defeat so far as that'll be blocked for the second corner for the Bulls. SD Raiders only drop points so far, and away defeat in round 10 to Interlions at Majors Bay Reserve, and a 1-1 draw with the Bonnyrigg White Eagles at the Bonnyrigg Sports Club. Their local rivals play Bonnyrigg Sports Club, not too far away from here. Krstlovic hits the deck, and it's a free header for Waraga. And escaped the green jerseys, but he's also headed wide. You can see Charlie Ragg is the leftmost player in the Raiders formation. Who's actually about a meter in front of me. I mean, even I could even I could pick out the number from that distance, as it's McGrath. Now Rag's moved a little bit more centrally. And the ball left, and an overlapping run from Sabatu has been released from defence. Now back to Donghua. Now McGrath. And back to Letta. The dummy from Donghua is nice, but then the very nice tackle as well, and Bulls try to release Helwe, so Letta's in close attendance. Helwe once again running at the defence. Onto the left foot, and the angle's tight, and it'll be another corner kick, but Letta did well to delay and wait for the defensive support. Helwe not able to play a telling ball into the middle, but he will get the second opportunity with this corner kick. Short corner this time, then Helwe delivers, and it might have been off Bosniak. Moraga thinks it's off SD Raiders, and it is for another corner kick. If you perhaps tuned in a little bit late, Eric Subihano here pitch side at Ernie Smith Reserve Field 2, calling the League One men's match of the round. Between SD Raiders and Bulls FC Academy, and the Bulls charged into an early lead, 6-minute goal from Atia Waraga. That's how we're feeling unrushed. Over to the other side. The first three corners taken from the far side. Now it's a little bit closer to us as he delivers. Madden is a short-ish option, it's kind of on the edge of the box. Now Waraga providing another short option. That's where it's played. Helwe delivers, and the Bulls are up there before the ball, and it's helped on, and now Kianese leading the charge, surrounded by Bulls. He'll find the outball. It's Cooper Hannigan charging down the right-hand side, and then thinks better of trying to move even forward, just wants the Raiders to settle in possession. Donghua to Sabatu. Now Raiders playing possession ball. Of course, big shout out to anyone who loves multitasking, because there is another Football New South Wales stream going on as we speak. It was the 3 p.m. kickoff at the Arctic Circle. And it's a Spirit women's home game against Sydney Olympic. And flags up, offside against Rag. And if there's any multi-screening types out there, thank you for your double support of Football New South Wales streams. Just remember, listen to me, don't listen to the other commentator. That's the most important thing. I like David Feeney, the commentator for the women's game between Spirit and Olympic, but listen to me. I'm sure Dave will understand me saying stuff like that. As Madden pings it towards Demevsky. And once again, I duck behind the fence. Still got a good view here, looking through the holes in the fence. Demevsky. And now Randazzo. Back to the central defenders. And now it's Vojvodic. Waraga dropping a bit deeper, then switching nicely to Bosniak. Madden's running through the middle. The support's coming from Demevsky as well. Bosniak might go himself. He'll get to the byline and then tries from an acute angle, and it's over the crossbar. But the Bulls are looking very good in the early exchanges. Defenders stay short for the goal kick. McGraw will step out. Now Donghua, he gets pressured by Casa. Raiders trying to probe and find a gap that they can exploit. Meanwhile, we'll try and figure out the formation. As I said, I figured out the back three part. SD Raiders, but It is interesting. It's definitely two different looks. Bulls appear to be in a 4-3-3 shape, which makes sense because I believe that's what that's at least what the Bulls or the MacArthur A-League men's side played in the second half of last night's game. So it kind of makes sense that A-League men's team and the NPL first grade team would kind of look similar. Sabatu gets the shout from McGrath. Raiders not rushing. They know there's plenty of time. And they've scored, as I said, a fair few goals this season. 20 in the league, if my maths hasn't failed me. Admittedly, that's a big if. So 20 in the opening 10 games. A good haul there, but a little bit of slip at an unfortunate time. And now Bulls release Waraga, met by McGrath. Randazzo. There's Helwer. Work back. And Randazzo that is Randazzo, taking his time. Casa. It's almost the furthest forward we've seen Kirslovich, at least in free play. Bushnak escapes the tackle. Now Madden looking for Araga. It's, I think, a couple of handball shouts, which are not heeded by the ref. And then it's up to Vojvodic to restart it again. Mackay. Now Randazzo. Oh, before I forget, of course, kind of this point I'm about to make more important in the nighttime kickoffs, but still important even in the daytime, as there's the appeal for an offside from Mackay, which I don't think is going to be heeded. It's Marcic. And then Mackay looking to shepherd it from a long way out, but he's been quite successful. Never met a defender who didn't like shepherding the ball over the goal line, and there we go. Mackay's won that particular duel, but Marcic, a very quick player, so Mackay, I'm sure he knows he'll need to be alert whenever Marcic is running at him. Now, Randazzo, a little bit of room in front of him. Now, strong run from Bozniak and Sabatu. He's blocked the cross, I think. And in fact, he's done even better. He's got the touch, managed to get the touch off Bozniak, so it's not a corner kick. So the other point I was trying to make, and now I wouldn't believe it, an uncovered commentary position. This is the day I forget my sunglasses. Hey. So of course, I don't know why I'm complaining. It's today's camera operator, Ong, who's got the real problems with dealing with the sun, especially as the sun begins to set. And as SD Raiders play it out from back, I just did want to note, nice, clear shirt numbers as Takagi is released with a nice ball. Now, Rags charging into the middle, and there's a handball. So Takagi's cross was handled. And it's going to be yellow card as well. Despite the protests, it's Vojvodic who goes into the notebook. And yes, I was able to see that. Oh, enjoying these shirt numbers. White on black. That's a proper contrast. So a lot of clubs can learn from this. And the white shirt, the white numbers on the dark green of SD Raiders are also very visible. So I mean, that would be easy to see even in the night games. Well, easy to see for some commentators anyway, but it's Malfara to deliver the dead ball. And Waraga is the one-player wall. And Malfara waits now the delivery, and it's gone straight in, and there's the equaliser. Sebastian Malfara using the crowd of bodies to his advantage midway through the first half. SD Raiders have found an equaliser. The crowd love that. And it's 1-1. The keeper, Alex Robinson, had no chance with that. He had to be prepared for a touch from one of the players in front of him. I don't think there was one. It's gone straight in. And Sebastian Malfara, when his team needed it, scored his first goal of the season, and he's found an equaliser. Now, trying to score, well, not quite straight from the kickoff, but from the first touch off the kickoff, and didn't have the momentum to trouble Figuera, that shot from the center circle. And Figuera catching that pass that was very off target, and just a hand out, outstretched hand, telling everyone to calm down. See, as it's Chianese dropping deeper, try and distribute then, couldn't find Macic. Now it's with Mackay for the Bulls. Helware, outnumbered there, and then Donghua too late. Despite not a lot of contact, but enough was enough for there to be a free kick in Bulls' favour. Actually, I've got one of my friends saying they're annoyed that Bulls aren't wearing white. And it's not. I like this black kit. I don't know. I'm just saying that this friend that just messaged me to say they're annoyed that Bulls aren't wearing white. I just would have thought they'd been watching the Bulls women's team tomorrow. But anyway, thanks for your support. Bosniak. It's lacking a little bit of width. He's cut inside. Bounces it off at Helware, and then he's committed the foul against Malfara. And the defenders leave this one for Figuera. Actually, once again, I show more ambition than talent. And actually, that's an action right in front of the photographer for today's game. And then Donghua needed to be quick to block off Helware. It's going to be the fifth corner already for the Bulls. We've only had about 25 minutes. I do love to go around the grounds here on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. We'll try and give live updates from that Spirit Olympic Women's game being called by Dublin Dave Feeney. Actually, you know what? I'd better, well, anyway, as the Helware delivers, and good punch. Great punch, actually, from Figuera. Reached over a number of players, and then the diagonal. There's something Takagi can reach. Tries to continue with the attack with Rag, and the covering tackle is there, but from that defensive set piece, now SD Raiders have gained a lot of territory. Now they can try and set up in the Bulls, near the Bulls half of the field, although back into their own territory just to keep it moving. Here's Malfara. Then looking for Hannigan. And he was quick enough to force the touch behind from Mackay. That's the first corner of the evening. Sorry, evening? No, that's a force of habit. First corner of the day for the home side. The delivery, it's low to the near post. Chianese trying to make something of it. He's outnumbered. Oh, I'm being complimented on my commentary here. My commentary certainly doesn't leave any grey areas. As the header by Demevsky to Rag, turns past the defender into the box. And then it's Casa. And the strong and clean defending inside his box. Second SD Raiders corner of the game. Wait, I'm going to check the YouTube app on my phone to see how things are going at the Arctic Circle. Oh, Spirit leading by 1-0 in the women's game up in Macquarie Park. A real test of my multitasking, try and figure out who scored while also calling this game. Obviously, I've turned the volume on my phone down. As Malfara to the far post, and it's just out of reach from McGrath, who'd gone up from the back. Have I hilariously made a mistake in the past where I've tried to look at another stream and then just had a sound from a completely different game blaring through my phone? Who can say? Bulls playing short from the back with Krislovic and now Damevski. Good header from Malfara though. And now it's Donghua. Kianese challenging against two players. Donghua tried to find, I think, Takagi. And now Madden has to step in. More good pressure from SD Raiders, not letting the Bulls get out of their own half. So Bulls, after all that early pressure, now a little bit on the back foot. Here's Hannigan. And Hannigan. His pass stopped by Vojvodic. Now Vojvodic again. Boschniak is right in front of our film position. He wants the switch of play. Instead, it goes back to Robinson. Now Robinson switches it in our direction as well as Boschniak's. Good header from Sabatu, then another good header, this time from the Bulls and from Krislovic. And Sabatu stopping the quick ball forward before Nick Farmer is right on it. Won't let the ball steal any meters from the throw-in. Damevski looking to switch the point of attack, but Hannigan's broken it up. Then the touch gets away from the Bulls. That's a rare loose touch from Zane Helwer. Now through ball, and Boschniak, good first touch. Figueroa's off his line. And he gets there ahead of Boschniak. But now hosts have given it away again. So this time, I think that's Randazzo now to Helwer inside the box. And Helwer stopped by Donghua. Marcic very deep. Raiders trying to look for an out ball, but the ball's not letting them. As it's Randazzo on the ball, and then confident shout, a very clear shout, and Sabata knew to leave it for Figueroa. Kianese. Decent ball. Might be better. Rag trying to make it a better than decent ball. Damevski has to hurry. He got there first. What's the decision? Well, the decision, despite consternation from the home fans, is that it is a goal kick. Ball's playing short. And now, go a bit more direct. A strong header from Hannigan. Again, as the ball's win back, Boschniak again signals for it. Now he gets it on highway. Steps past Sabatu. Again, enough. Raiders get enough green jerseys in the way as it's back to the keeper. And then Letta has it stolen by Helwer, and Helwer was one-on-one. Great save from Figueroa. Bails out his skipper. Letta giving Figueroa a bit of thanks, as the high pressing nearly helped put the Bulls back in front. And Hannigan with a strong tackle. Bulls throw coming up. Oh. because Bulls really can't do anything with the ball in that part of the field, but we'll have to go. SD Raiders will have to go back before they take this throw. Actually, time for a little bit of a breather. That's why. And Letta's got to fix the corner flag, which had been dislodged. Can't, in the laws of the game, can't play football without corner flags. Yeah. No matter what the level, I mean, if you can believe that. Once, as I be an old man, not for the last time, not for the first time in commentary, I was just reminded there was a delay to the 1974 Men's World Cup final because they forgot to put the corner flags out. Yes, that did actually happen. Now, has the Raiders won it high? Yes, they have. Here's Donghua. He shoots from range, but it's an easy save. Easy save for Robinson. By the way, another update from the Arctic Circle, as I rather ashamed of. As that'll be a Bulls free kick. It's actually 2-0 to Spirit over Olympic and for a pause and play before I give more detail. It's Helwer once again to the byline. Nice tackle from Hannigan. Corner. And, well, they're not the first team and they won't be the last team, but up at the Arctic Circle, Sydney Olympic have been hit by the Sky Halmar wrecking ball. As the short corners work to the edge of the box with Madden. Now Randazzo and Helwer. Low cross. Stopped comfortably. Good positioning from Hannigan. Raiders looking to break, but Hannigan is very much overhit his teammates. Yeah. Well, we'll finish this update to the Arctic Circle. Yeah. The Sky Halmar wrecking ball is done for Sydney Olympic. 2 goals from Spirit's number 9 up the Arctic Circle. And Spirit women's team in a commanding position. Sky Halmaric. She's had a great season. I was actually at the Arctic Circle a few weeks ago to watch Spirit versus Jets. She was the match winner against the Jets as well. And that is a young woman who's going places. She's already received Junior Matilda's recognition. And surely can't be too long before she gets an A-League contract. But anyway, as Sabatu is brought down, Farmer's happy to go on with things. And then they play out from the back. Strong header from Krislovic. Now Mackay. Buzniak switch flanks. And Buzniak again. If you've just joined us, 1-1 between SD Raiders and Bulls FC Academy. And this, the League One men's match of the round. It was this player, Atia Waraga, who opened the scoring on 6 minutes for the Bulls, following up after a Flynn Madden shot was saved. The equaliser came about the 23rd minute, a Sebastian Malfara free kick from an acute angle. Hope you're enjoying this long weekend. Hope you're enjoying this game, and of course there's plenty more games after this one, as there always is on a Saturday during the Football New South Wales season. Krislovic thinks it forward. Domevsky will get to this. And a very flat cross, but then Hannigan was calm, knew where the opponents were, and chests it back to Fulguera. And Hannigan gets past the challenge. He'll get to midfield and try the switch towards Macic. Macic still looking for the right runner, but he's been dispossessed. And Waraga to Buzniak, back on the side of the field nearest to us. Madden plays it left, and that Helwer is quick, but he was never reaching that one. Estero is using the keeper again. They're reluctant to play it long unless they have to. Marcic, loose touch, gives it to the other number 7. Moraga, and then Marcic didn't give up. Didn't drop his head once he lost the ball. There's a lesson for all the kids. There you go. If you chase hard after losing possession, it's amazing how often you'll win it straight back. McGrath trying to run it out from the back. He's beat Moraga and Marcic. It's broken up. Kasai leaves it for Božňák. Now this is Randazzo. A strong header from Hannigan. Just a flick from Madden, but SD Raiders were wise to it. They're trying to release Takagi with the quick ball, but again, more good sweeper keeper work from Robinson. Marcic is able to play it to Chianese. Donghua, and Donghua brought down. So a free kick coming up. Might just go gradually through other games you can watch today on the Football New South Wales YouTube page after this one. So, of course, as is now, you'd almost call it a tradition, because there's a Spirit women's game, home women's game in progress, but the club does love a doubleheader on a Saturday, so NPL men's New South Wales action from Macquarie Park coming up not too long after this game is done. 5:30 p.m. from the Arctic Circle. Spirit hosting St George FC. Two clubs who were very recently in this division, of course. Lockie Flanagan with the commentary there. As Mafara delivers, and it's easy for Robinson. There's another. And speaking of the NPL men's competition, also at 7:15 p.m. from Penshurst Park. Two more clubs who were in this division fairly recently. St George City hosting West City Wanderers Academy, and Tony Salerno will have the commentary. Hosting Illawarra Stingrays with Annabelle Banfield on the call. But good move from the Bulls here. Božňák, and into the middle. A couple of juggles from Hannigan, and then he's had quite enough of that and bombs it into Bulls territory. Just briefly on the commentator for tonight's game between Tigers and Stingrays, Annabelle Banfield. I remember that was at a season launch, last year's season launch. And she expressed a desire to do commentary, so I told her, you should talk to a media manager, our fearless leader, Mark Stavroulakis, as in, do it right now. So she did, and now she's a commentator. Annabelle's very smart because she listens to me. More people should listen to me, to be honest, but as it's covered by McGrath, to stop that run, which looked dangerous through the middle for a moment there. Now letter for the Raiders. And Donghua. And Rag. Raiders staying patient. Sabatu goes back to McGrath. And across the field, Figueroa providing the option as Raiders try to beat the press. Moraga continues to chase. Chianese has kept it away from Demevski, but it rolls out for a goal kick. For a goal kick, for a throw to the Bulls. Demevsky, has he gotten past two? He might have. And Charlie Ragg has brought Demevsky down. I think this is going to be a yellow card. So Ragg is the first SD Raiders player into the notebook. Waraga to deliver. Past the two-player wall and the flick. I think it's cleared off the line. Not sure if Aguirre saved it. It might have been Hannigan, who was perfectly positioned to keep the score at 1-1. The switch to Hellware. Approaching half-time. It's a strong tackle from Takagi. Long throw as well. Raiders defend. The Bulls try and keep the pressure on with a couple of headers, but breaks to Marcic, and Marcic loses out. They've worked it to Demevsky. Demevsky clips it into the middle. Good header from Leder. And another good header. Now, breaks for Waraga, and now he drew the keeper out of position, but then he didn't find a teammate, and the Raiders survive once again. Now Chianese's on the move. Krstovic looks to have the position, and you can just watch it over the line for a goal, for a throw-in. I've done that again, for a throw-in, but at least that clearance does allow the Raiders to step up. And another late contact, so Bulls set piece as, at least by my stopwatch, we're now into first half time added on. Their fourth official in League One men's, at least not until the finals. Not final series, they don't have a final series anymore. Not until the promotion relegation playoff, which, for those who perhaps are new to this competitions, the promotion relegation playoffs, there's one between NPL, the top tier in League One men's, that's a handball. And there's also one between this division and League Two men's. So the team that finishes second after 30 rounds, which coincidentally is SD Raiders at the moment, in that occupying that position. The team that finishes second will play second last or 15th from NPL for the right to be an NPL team in 2026. And a similar thing between this league and the league below. The team that finishes second last or 15th will have to play off against the second place team in League Two men's for the right to keep their place in this division for next season. The league currently led by Northern Tigers. I think if memory serves me correctly, on the same points total. The same points total as SD Raiders, but with a slightly better goal difference. So Tigers on plus 18 compared to the Raiders plus 11. Leder works it back to the keeper. We've had 90 seconds of time added on already, and it won't be any more. Very interesting first half here at Ernie Smith Reserve. And as the teams head to the dressing sheds, it's 1-1. It was the Bulls who opened the scoring through Atia Waraga in the 6th minute, following up after Flynn Madden's shot was saved. And then Sebastian Malfara equalising midway through the first half with a very smart free kick that went through the crowd. And the Bulls keeper could do nothing about that. So we'll take a short break of about 10 minutes or so. This is Eric Subihano calling from Moorbank. We'll see you soon.
Do they?
Yeah, they'll pass them down sour patches on Tuesday. No, on the bed.
Welcome back to the second half of our League One men's broadcast for this week. The featured game for the men's second tier. It's 1-1 between SD Raiders and Bulls FC Academy at halftime. The subs and the coaching staff just making their way across the synthetic field back to their respective benches. Our photographer friend on the other side of the field is in position to take photos of the second half. If there is a halftime sub, you'll find out at the same time I do. But I'm quickly scanning the shirt numbers. I don't think either team made a sub at the break, but if they did, I will let you know as soon as I find out. Although that could be a while, as it's a good flick on from Chianese, and within a flash, less than 15 seconds after the commence for the beginning of the second half, SD Raiders have won a corner kick. Everyone back for Bulls. And lots of players up for SD Raiders. Pretty much everyone. Malfara's taking the corner kick. Lots of his teammates in the box. You've got kind of Cooper Hannigan as the deepest outfielder, and even he's only, 10 yards outside the box. So look at that crowd in the 6-yard box. That's as crowded as my morning commute. Malfara delivers. Flick on from Chianese. And then shot on the turn is over from Rag. But still, that's a good positive start. That'll please the SD Raiders coach, Goran Luboya. And if you've missed any of the first half action, of course, the beauty of YouTube streaming, just a matter of clicking back on the stream and watching whatever you've missed. But to sum it up, Bulls took the lead in the 6th minute. Atia Waraga following up after a shot was saved by the SD Raiders keeper Michael Figueira. And then the Raiders equalizer coming in the 23rd minute. A very nice Sebastian Malfara free kick that evaded the crowd in the middle and went straight in from an acute angle. That's going to be a free kick, a foul possibly on Sebatu. And I think it'll be okay to continue. Yes, it was Sebatu that was fouled, but the lineup's out there. And for SD Raiders, as far as I can see it, roughly a 3-4-3 shape, although with a lot of rotation in attacking areas. But for the Raiders, Michael Figueira in goal, 3 at the back, which is James Leder, the captain. This player on the ball right now, Lachlan McGrath, as well as Jonathan Sebatu. 4 across the midfield. We've got Cooper Hannigan on the right, just in front of us right now. You've got Charlie Ragg on the left. In central midfield, Sebastian and Malfara. And this player heading the ball right now, Han Bongwa. And then the 3 up front, Roma Takagi, Mihal Marcic, and Noah Chianese. We'll go through the Bulls lineup. Sebatu with a bit of a lob back pass, and Figueira was quick, realised he didn't really want to let that bounce and loop up into the air. So he got to it just after the bounce and has cleared the ball to safety. I realised just to benefit those of you much less familiar with these lineups, I didn't give the SD Raiders shirt number, so I've got to do it again. But first, number 7, Mihal Marcic. There's a duck behind the fence once again. Marcic trying to get away from Randazzo. Marcic keeps it alive for Donghua. Now this is Rag. And Rag outnumbered. And then commits a foul to the consternation at the home side. But the attack is over. I've got to do that SD Raiders formation again. Okay. In goal, it's Michael Figueira. The 3 at the back, number 22, Jonathan Sebatu. Number 12, Lachlan McGrath. And number 8, James Leder. 4 in midfield. Number 18, Charlie Ragg. Number 21, Sebastian Malfara. Number 2, Ham Donghua. And number 4, Cooper Hannigan. And the 3 up front, number 7, Mihal Marcic. Number 6, Roma Takagi. And number 14, Noah Chianese. As Sebatu works it back to the captain. Now McGrath. Hannigan was open kind of nearest to us, but he's chosen another option. That's a nice turn from Donghua, and the through ball skips away from Takagi, so goal kick. Now for the Bulls, 4-3-3 roughly is the shape for them. In goal is Alex Robinson. 4 at the back from left to right. That's number 5, Will Mackay. Number 29, Ante Vojvodic. Number 20, Sebastian Krislovic. And number 27, Joshua Domevski. The 3 in midfield, number 17, Oliver Randazzo. Number 16, Kai Kasa. And number 10, Flynn Madden. But Madden will get forward as often as he can. And the 3 up front, number 11, Zane Helwer, number 7, Atia Waraga, and number 24, Dean Bosniak. As I think it's Vujvodic playing it left to Mackay. Madden had that broken up by Letta, and that's an unfortunate one for Madden because I think the ball flicked up accidentally and it's gone into his face. Then there's arguments of the throw-in, but the ref's going to stop things because, yeah, Madden, we've all been here. Bannon copped in it's an unfortunate deflection. Ball straight into the face. I think he's going to be okay, but actually he's feeling quite a bit sore. So we'll have a pause as the Bulls physio comes on. While Flynn Madden is seen to, a reminder of the bench options. So firstly for the Raiders, I think Andrew Parkin is the backup goalkeeper, assuming they've gone with what is generally tradition in these NPL circles, giving number 20 to the backup keeper. But yeah, yes, Andrew Parkin is on the bench, as is Jairo Torne Fernandez, Tanakon Ruksat, Riley Cox-Barlow, Braden McPherson, and Noah Anderson. On the Bull bench, the backup keepers Franklin Jan, and the others Enrique Oliveira, Matthew Jackson, Levi Suriaga, Harry Menem, and Michael Krslevich. Of course, there will be a review of this round of League One Men's, which is round 12. That will be available on the NPL New South Wales socials Sunday evening. Justin Smith, long-time League One Men's reporter, so much better than the egomaniac who used to cover this competition. And he'll be watching the stream intently to cover this game and the other games in League One Men's round 12. And I thought I had it on my dribble app, and I've done an old man thing, and I've gone to completely the wrong place. As the Raiders, defenders pass it amongst themselves. Now Letters under pressure to Malfara. Now Hannigan will chase. Mackay, I think he'll get there first. And Hannigan got the better of Mackay there. Can he work the space for a cross? It'll be an attacking throw instead. Hannigan wants to get on with it as I almost trip on my headphone cord. And Flynn Manor is still waiting to come back on. Kind of a longish throw to find Malfara in space in a deeper position. Now Sabatu, and now balls are back to the full complement of players. There's McGrath, quick enough to step round Waraga's press. But yes, there's other games in this round. This is the earliest of the kickoffs. Hannigan avoids the attentions of Helwer. Now Donghua tried to curl it, but she might take a bounce and find a teammate. Now it's Kianese to Donghua. Donghua's got to be quick, but steps past Madden. Malfara. Back to Donghua and almost takes a tumble, but it's just lost his footing, and I think possibly understandable that the SD Raiders bench would appeal from where they were, but Donghua just slipped. As so I was trying to figure out. I was looking at my dribble app to see the other fixtures from this round, and then I was wondering why could I only see 7 games? Well, yes, there was a League One men's game yesterday, as UNSW took advantage of the public holiday to host Canterbury Bankstown at the Village Green. A 1-1 draw there. So that was the first of the games. And thanks to Dribble, I can tell you Mitch Madison scored for UNSW. There was an equaliser in the second half for Canterbury from John Fotopoulos. In case you're wondering, yes, Canterbury Bankstown, the club that was for a long time known as Berries, in fact, to be honest. Still is referred to as Berries most of the time. But the other games in this round, so this is very much a Saturday competition. So the other 7 games from League One Men's being played today. Obviously this one and the other 6, the 4:30 PM kickoff at Hensley Athletic Field between Hakawa and Bonnyrigg. There's 4 5 p.m. kickoffs at Dulwich Hill hosting Hills United at Arlington Oval. A great venue. What a historic venue that is as well. Hosted at the 1938 Empire Games did Arlington Oval. Jonathan Savatu strong run wins a free kick. Also 5 p.m. kickoffs in this comp. Bankstown City hosting Newcastle Jets at Jensen Park. MacArthur Rams hosting the Spartans at Linwood Park. Rydomere Lions. I like to call this the battle of the big cats. It's Rydomere Lions versus Northern Tigers at Rydomere Park. And then the 7 p.m. kickoff for today. In League One Men's, Mounties Wanderers hosting Inter Lions at Wanderers Football Park. And just for the avoidance of doubt, there's a good a strong header from Chianese, but it's swept up initially by Casa, but the Bulls have kept it away from the Raiders. Now there's Randazzo, but the ball is too straight and too fast for Waraga to gather. But yes, that Mounties Inter Lions game at Wanderers Football Park, just for the avoidance of doubt and possibly for the uninitiated, Wanderers Football Park named after Western Sydney Wanderers, not Mounties Wanderers, but Mounties are using that for their home games anyway. Hannigan delivers it into an interesting area, and a fumble from Robinson, and then following up, it's a real scramble in the box. All kinds of appeals. It's cleared behind. It's going to be a corner. They thought after it was Takagi that got to the loose ball at the same time as the keeper, Robinson. It broke to an SD Raiders player. Bulls were convinced he was offside, but no. It's going to be an SD Raiders corner kick. Also, there's a chance to plug an upcoming League One men's stream. Or at least I think this is going to be streamed. Wednesday, 30th of April from Rydomere Park. Rydomere Lions hosting Dulwich Hill. Let's hope that the third time of asking we can get this fixture underway. Don't get me started. It's been quite a odyssey to get that game played. Originally meant to be played in round 6. Now Malfara signals. Delivery in swinging to the far post. Big jump from McGrath, and then the follow-up shot is sliced wide by Takagi. Takagi is the joint top scorer if you count goals in all competitions for SD Raiders this season. He scored 4 times, as has Noah Chianese, Riley Cox-Barlow, who's on the bench, and Thomas Santarosa. And now SD Raiders double sub coming up. Double sub on the far side of the field. Well, we know it is Ryoma Takagi and Mihail Marcic coming off. And traditional time to make subs at about the hour mark. Coming onto the field, I think that's a 19, which would be Riley Cox-Barlow, so he looks to be the attacking replacement for Marcic. It was Riley Cox-Barlow. He's putting the pressure on. Might still do it against Mackay, but Mackay's done well. Now he finds himself centrally. Chianese strong in the tackle. Bulls fan asking for a card. I mean, yeah, okay. If you say. The Bulls have won it back. Mackay once again, so he's fine. He bounced up. It's only for a card. Please. Vojvodic sideways to Sebastian Krstovic. Oh yes, by the way, the other newly introduced player is Braden McPherson, so he's the replacement, I think, for Takagi, but I do wonder if that's also might be a change of approach from SD Raiders. I'll see how they set up, because at least, I mean, in the brief time he's been on the field, McPherson playing a lot deeper than either Marcic or Takagi were. So now, Riley Cox-Barlow, one of the aforementioned players who scored 4 times for SD Raiders this year. Hannigan chasing against Mackay. Mackay coolly to Vojvodic. Return to Mackay. Now Hellware. Bright start to the game, but credit to SD Raiders for keeping him quieter. But they break it open, potentially through Waraga. Running at McGrath, tries to slide it through to Hellware. There's an easy gather for Fuguera. Hannigan, touch past the opponent. And Hannigan towards halfway. Randazzo pinned for the shirt pull there. Now Hannigan. It's good to see two teams who want to keep the tempo up. Right, Cox Barlow. Yes. Held by Demevsky, but will go on with Rag delivering it into the middle towards McPherson, and the foul is called against Chianese. Now, I'm wondering, I'm wrong constantly during commentary, so I suppose nothing, if I am wrong, nothing's changed. No, they haven't changed their formation. Actually, and now think about it, I think they've settled in, so it does look like Braden McPherson is now settling in attack, so playing wide, the widest of that front three for Raiders, taking the role Marchich started the game in, and now Hannigan tries to dink it through. Stopped by the defense. Here's Cox Barlow, the other new player. He's the replacement for Takagi. Randazzo to Helware. And Helware's got to be quick, and he is. Does well to keep it in play. Runs it letter. And here's the shot. It's in. That is spectacular from Zane Helware. Cutting inside from the left-hand side. Unleashed a shot, which Michael Figueroa could do nothing about. And the Bulls are back in front. That's his 8th of the season. I did notice that MacArthur A-League coach Miller Stoyovsky is in attendance. Well, not a bad time to score in front of the boss. The curly put on that was sensational. A bit of dip as well on the ball. He's aimed out wide. Aimed a shot out wide, knowing it would curl back inside. It's a perfect shot from Zane Helware, and Bulls lead by 2-1. Now, I was wondering about that one. Cox Barlow a little bit too enthusiastic with the pressing. And it's going to be a Bulls free kick. I don't know what Bulls are playing at. They got the free kick. But they have said it, though. They're talking to the lino. Well, if the lino signaled, what else? He doesn't have cards. What else do you want him to do? Just got in front as well. Some people are never happy, I suppose. Good trick from Helware. And could have been a dangerous pass, but Malfara lunging to intercept. Still with the Bulls and with Kirslovich. Randazzo is quick enough to beat the pressure from McPherson. Here's Mackay. Now Helware once again. This time delivers from out wide, and the header. Waraga escapes the defense, and his header didn't have the power to trouble Figueroa. Hannigan past a couple of opponents. Back to McGrath. Now, back once again with Figueroa. It's direct, but Vojvodic is the only player anywhere near that as it landed. McGrath, and the pass gets away from Sabat. See, for the SD Raiders, we could still see Jairo Torne Fernandez later, as well as Tanakon Ruksat or Noah Anderson. And I wonder how long before the next substitution. The hosts are chasing the game once more. Casa. Now it's Madden, but Madden was pressed, and well, I think we'll go on despite that Madden shirt pull. Malfara, well, it was an off-target pass. Found the rebound, then he lost it again. Ball's going direct. Keeper's off his line, and Figueroa. Actually, not just looking for safety, he's lobbed it to Rag. Now, well, fell the drop of rain. It's 4:37. Well, looks like the forecast might have been correct for rain in the late afternoon. Do wonder if I'll have to kind of get the waterproof sleeve for my notes, but that's a nice ball from out the back. And Hannigan takes it past Mackay, and another player as well. Hannigan goes himself. Good save. Robinson stuck out the right boot. Cooper Hannigan tricked his way past two players and drew a fine save from Robinson. And at the other end, and the 1-2 opens it up for Zane Helware, and he's skied it, hits the big net behind Michael Figueroa's goal. A neat play between him and Waraga. There's a good chance to make it 3-1. So substitution time. Actually, no. Oh no, it will be substitution time. So it's Dean Borzniak making way. My old eyes could just about see that. Good shift from Borzniak, who also was a substitute last night in MacArthur's A-League men's game against Victory. He has been replaced by Levi Suriaga. Straight into the action with the pressing, and despite not getting the ball, he's getting some encouragement from his teammates as Hannigan tries down the line. But the kind of sting was taken out of it. Caso avoids the cause of a high foot, and the second one is called as a high foot. And Donghua tried a quick free kick, but not taking it from the correct spot. And we'll try again. Letter towards McPherson, and McPherson gives it up. Now hits the new play for the Bulls, Suriaga. He's got options either side. Goes to Waraga. Good tackle from Sabatu. Needed to get that spot on. To put something over my notebook so it doesn't get wet. The drizzle is slowly coming as there's a great ball in from Hannigan. Cox Barlow was lunging. I think it was just a little bit too far in front of him. Another good intervention down the right side from Hannigan. And SD Raiders will need to see him do that as often as he can when the ball's down his side and chasing this game as they are. It was a game which sadly wasn't streamed, but we can only stream one game a week, so, you know, inevitably you'll miss good games. But I think it was at the start of this month. There's a clash between the two teams that are currently first and second, but we'll hold it because Donghua, he was tackled, but Coxbala keeps it alive and wins a corner kick. Well, Riley Coxbala, when SD Raiders went to North Taramara Recreation Area, a first versus second clash. It was Riley Coxbala's late winner that earned his team the 3 points over Northern Tigers that day at the start of April. It was a great game. It was one of the best State League games I've watched in a while, and that includes action from the top tier. Now, Malfara to deliver, headed away, I think by Vojvodic. And going back to that Riley Coxbala winner at North Taramara, some acrobatics in the celebration afterwards. That could be something for you to look forward to if the Raiders number 19 scores again. Sub coming up for SD Raiders. Jairo Tone Fernandez is one of the players to come on. Actually, wait, it's the only one sub. So Fernandez will replace Han Donghua. Industrious for the Raiders today. Now, Fernandez offering the fresh legs. And SD Raiders will have one sub window left. And maximum of 2 subs remaining for them. Now here's the shot. It's low, and then keeper probably wouldn't have been too troubled, but Vojvodic doesn't take any chances and clears it out for a throw-in. As our photographer found right up close, especially, to be fair, given that giant lens he has, that was probably too close for him to take photos. Malfara back to Leto, he's got to hurry. Keeps it away from the Bulls. Now, I think Bulls did well to step up and allowed Robinson to step up as well, so there was more sweeper keeper work, more assured sweeper keeper work from Alex Robinson. Now, there's the header from Sabatu. Of course, there are a few streams coming up later today, so if you want to watch another game today and this long weekend, well, you've got choices. But first, Hannigan chasing this ball from Letta. It's going to get away from him. But yes, there's a card, possibly to Kai Kaso. I think that was him letting play and then letting play run and then booking Casa for something that happened earlier. Apologies, I did not see it. Now, by the way, I think I see someone's shin pad. There's definitely an object near the center circle. I wonder if someone's playing without a shin pad. Anyway, we'll go on with Randazzo. Helwe delivers. Headed out by Sabato. That's another good header. Kianese gets there first. Now the ball through the middle. Robinson should get there first. Coxbala will chase. And now broken up by Fernandez, and he's got options, but he tries the long-range shot, and he was off balance. That goes off target. Maybe a substitution coming up, or, well, yes. Nick Farmer, the ref, has also spotted whatever that is. Is that a shin pad? It was, and Kai Kaso is going to put his shin pad back on, as per the laws of the game. Yes, apologies, it's gone silent. Just had to deal with a work-related WhatsApp message. Oh dear, if things had changed, we would tell you. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with this game. As it's a strong aerial challenge, Cox Barlow, and the collision might have left a Bulls player on the turf. Hellware, it's Mackay who's feeling sore. Hellware plays it over the sideline. Mackay's going to require some treatment. Nothing, no intent there. There's two players just fully committed. So Bulls trainer getting those steps up. He's on the field once more. And of course, as I've already mentioned these games, but just a reminder, there's the women's game currently in progress between Spirit and Olympic at the Arctic Circle. That was a 3 kickoff. There's a men's Spirit home game, 5:30 p.m. Spirit hosting St. George FC. Called by Lockie Flanagan, who's decided to make the move to Victoria to a real state. Now he's the Football New South Wales commentary team, so hope he enjoys that game. Also, NPL men's action at 7:15 p.m. from Penshurst Park with Tony Salerno. From memory, the only Tony ever to call games for Football New South Wales, but like Tony Salerno calling St. George City versus Western Sydney Wanderers. While there's also a women's game this evening, Northern Tigers versus Illawarra Stingrays, 6:30 p.m. called by Annabelle Banfield. Mike just plays back underway, and I think Mackay, good to see he's back on the field. There's so much choice on Sunday. Let me count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 games, 12 Football New South Wales streams tomorrow. Let's start with the most important one, which is, of course, the game I'm calling. It's the Football New South Wales League One Women's Match of the Round from Harry Denning Centre in Sutherland Shire. Sutherland Strikers hosting the undefeated League One Women's leaders, Hills United. Casa's on a card here. SD Raiders are not happy and will have another stoppage. But yes, if you're a fan of my commentary, then there's got to be one of you out there at least. I'll be calling the game 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. League One Women's Sutherland Strikers versus the League One Women's leaders, Hills United. And there's also 5 NPL women's games that'll be streamed tomorrow. Action starting at 3 p.m. from Linwood Park. It's the Lena Karmas Derby, MacArthur Rams versus Mount Georgetown Rangers. 3 p.m. I believe that's called by the Serbian Martin Tyler Nikola Pozdo. Then the other 4 NPL women's games are at 5 p.m. There's firstly one of the undefeated teams, Manly United, hosting a star-studded RPL Leichhardt side. There's also at 5 p.m. up at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Maltese friend Ashley Borg will be on the dodgy scissor lift to call Newcastle Jets versus Gladesville Ravens. Also 5 p.m. tomorrow, Western Sydney Wanderers versus Bulls FC Academy. As well as, I love the way this is sped out. I call this matchup the Battle of the Students. It's the University of New South Wales versus Sydney University. So naturally, we got a teacher to call this one. As Hellware with the cutback. Madden. And now the shot, which is tipped over by Figueroa. Great save to keep the score at 2-1. Madden, shot didn't work out for him. I think he's laid off to Demevsky, I think was the player in the end who had the shot. Great save from Figueroa. But yes, just to finish that thought. Our other Maltese commentary friend, Melissa Muscat, she's a teacher, and she's calling a women's game 5 p.m. tomorrow between the University of New South Wales and Sydney University. Honestly, that is perfect commentary allocation. Will not get any better than this. As I think it's Casa is requiring some attention from the physio. Now, by the way, there's 6 NPL men's games tomorrow. This action starts at 3 p.m. with the Derby d'Italia, RPL Leichhardt hosting Marconi Stallions at Lambert Park, the home of Sydney's best barista. Look forward. We've got our rider Jack George will be in position there, and Jude Dolan running the NPL New South Wales Instagram page, and Damien Briggs taking photos for that big clash, Derby d'Italia at Lambert Park. Also 3 p.m. tomorrow, Central Coast Mariners versus Rockdale Illingdon, called by the voice of Central Coast football, Pete Pryor, and Blacktown City host the boys from Adensa Park at Landon Stadium. Alex Moultron, Pretty Boy, will be calling that one from Seven Hills. 2 NPL men's games at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Wilkins Santaniers will be at Belmore to call Sydney Olympic versus Manly United. Also at 5 p.m. down on the south coast, Wollongong Wolves hosting Mount Druitt Town Rangers. That'll be called by Tim Gibson. Tim Gibson, what would our writing be without him? As the delivery comes in, a couple of SD Raiders get mixed up, and it's going to be another corner. Now, by my very unofficial tally, that's the 8th Bulls corner of this evening's game. Oh, I'm just looking at my messages. I think Sky Halmarek has scored again as the corner comes in. Good header from Kianese. Now, what can SD Raiders do? They've scored 20 goals in the league. Almost half of them, 9, have been scored in the 76th minute or later. So they are a team that knows how to finish strongly, including 2 at North Taramara Recreation Area to come from 1-0 down and win 2-1 against Northern Tigers. Of course, in addition to those 9 late goals in the league, there was also a late winner to cause a cup set when SD Raiders knocked Wollongong Wolves out of the cup earlier this week, setting up a home Australia Cup game against Rockdale London. Details to be confirmed. Keep an eye on the Football New South Wales channels for that one, but that's going to be a big one. So it's the final roll of the dice for Gordon Luboya, and so it'll be number 83 Noah Anderson and number 17 Tanakon Ruksat on. I'm just trying to figure out who was withdrawn. Might have been brief scan of the jerseys. I think Sebastian Alfaro is the player who's been replaced. Oh, sorry, the other player who's been replaced. So yes, I think that's in SD Raiders midfield. It's Tanakon Ruksat on for Malfara. But firstly, chance maybe for Waraga. Well, here's a chance, and it's over from Suriaga. That would have been the chance to settle it. SD Raiders stay alive. And that other SD Raiders change, just to clarify, it looks like it's Noah Anderson on for Noah Kianese. How appropriate that there's 2 Noahs in the SD Raiders matchday squad at one time, at the same time. Centre back run from Lachlan McGrath. Back heel from Kyle doesn't work out. In fact, strong defending thing from Krislovic, Sebastian Krislovic. Now, battle on the far side of the field as the light is beginning to fade. And, well, to the end of this game. Time for one last push from SD Raiders, and another push maybe from Cooper Hannigan, who assesses the options and delivers, and Bulls just about keep it away from the runners into the middle. Oh well. Just looked at my YouTube stream near the end of this game, and well, that's not looking good for Sydney Olympic in the women's comp there at the Arctic Circle, but it's Waraga running at Sabatu. Sabatu at least able to hold him up, but it's switched across to Helware, and Helware, the shot is blocked by Aletta. Well, yeah, that really full-time in the women's action at the Arctic Circle, and yeah, that was. Let's have a quick look at the graphic. Yes, a real Sky Halmarek job there. Sky Halmarek with a hat-trick for Spirit. Spirit winning, defeating Olympic by 5-1. Sabatu strong there. Good win. Now Ruksat, the fresh legs. Trying to find Cox Barlow. He gets away from him. Wow, plenty of goals for David Feeney to call at the Arctic Circle. As Robinson waits to be pressed before picking up the ball. Just a brief summary if you've just joined us, although wide only. If you tuned in now, you've certainly missed a lot of the action, and it is the Bulls leading SD Raiders by 2-1 in the League One men's match of the round. Bulls open the scoring on the 6th minute by Atia Rawaga. In the 23rd minute, SD Raiders equaliser from Sebastian Malfara via a free kick. The Bulls went 2-1 up in the 62nd minute. A wonderful strike from Zane Helwe. As here's Madden looking for Helwe, but it is cleared. Actually, there's a sub. I apologize. Mr. Bull sub. Well, he was going to miss it at some one point. It's Harry Menem on in number 33 jersey for the Bulls. I suspect that's for Will Mackay. It would look to be a straight swap at left. Oh, no, it's not. I made another mistake. Who's... Oh, they've done quite a bit of a reshuffle here. Actually, no. Now that I've taken a deep breath and looked at it properly. Kai Kasa is the player who's been withdrawn so that Harry Menem could have come on. Or could come on. Now, Menem could be under pressure. It's a header, but he's going to try and follow it in, preventing the corner. And he has not. So it looks like Menem at left back. Will Mackay's gone to right back. And Joshua Domevsky has gone to the central midfield, filling the spot vacated by Kai Kasa. There's a lightning flash in the background. Well, no more of that, please. We're almost done here. Here's the delivery from Fernandez. And headed behind for another corner. Yes, I mean... And then a bit of silliness off the ball. And now, well, there's some calming down here. Well, we don't need to see this. Thunder. Well, as long as there's only one flash of lightning, we'll be okay. But that thunder is not promising. And a yellow card in the 87th minute. I think, is that the Cox Barlow? Yes, it is. It's going to rain soon. Let's get on with it, boys. SD Raiders corner. They're 6th of the game, I think, according to my tally, which, well... How reliable is that? I'll let you be the judge. Everyone back for Bulls. Flat delivery to the near post. It's helped on, and the scramble. And after all that, last touch of Bulls. Another corner. Oh, look at this. You got Michael Figueroa doing his best Manuel Neuer impersonation. He's in the center circle. You've got the furthest out, the deepest outfielders for SD Raiders at this set piece. Braden McPherson. And... Cooper Hannigan, even there on the edge of the box. Here we go again. It's swinging in. Good punch. Hannigan tries to clip it back into the middle. That should be easy for Robinson. That's really what Bulls needed. And from Alex Robinson under pressure, that was a punch Katie Taylor would have been proud of. Really great contact on that one. Michael Figueroa canning out the seconds with which Alex Robinson was holding on the ball. Now he releases, and, well, there's more Manuel Neuer impersonations from Figueroa. A header outside his box. And he knew he needed to get to it first. Now he lets Cooper Hannigan know that there is time. Whatever efforts the Raiders do, it's got to be quick. Time's almost up. More work-related messages. I'll look at that later. Yeah, there's rain in the background. I think we're just about going to get away with this one, though. Robinson being hassled by one lone young SD Raiders fan behind his goal. I like your style, young man. Cox Barlow holding it up. Finds a runner. This could be a chance. Ruksat denied by a flying save from Robinson. Cox Barlow played the target role there very nicely. Found the right runner. And Ruksat drawing the best out of Robinson. They get on with it as Fernandez tries to get past the player, and then the tackle. He gets the touch off Bulls. And let's say Jairo Fernandez is yeah, the kids are annoying him. I think that's about what he said. Yes. Fernandez probably thinking of a well-known meme involving Michael Jordan right about now. Robinson's hit the turf again. Nick Farmer just telling him to get up, so he does. Here's the corner from Fernandez. Doesn't beat Helware. Back in from Rag, and the header. Header from McGrath goes wide. And it's the final minute of the regulation 90. And then this is a sub. I think this is to break up the flow of the game more than anything else. And it's going to be a double sub. I think someone's asked Nick Farm how much time's added on. I think I heard a shout of 5 minutes, boys. And the Bulls, are they going to make this double sub or are they going to wait? And, well, Atia Waraga has taken too long to get off, according to the referee. He's been booked. That's his final act of the game. He's the one that started the goal scoring. And who's he been replaced by? That's you're going to have to wait for that player to turn around so I can see the shirt number. There's another sub as well. Zane Helway, the other goal scorer, has been withdrawn. That lone SD Raiders fan, once again trying to put Alex Robinson off. There should be more of that. There should be more of that at these State League games. So I see a number 13, so Matthew Jackson, one of the players. Will try and help see this out for the Bulls. The other player is number, I think it's Michael Kristovich. I see a 58. I'm going to assume it's him, although I think it was 52 entered into dribble, but that's fine. That's all fine. More Thunder. We are... I'm just double checking the dribble app and then I looked at the wrong team. Oh, it says 52. Okay, well, let's assume that's Michael Kristovich in the 58 jersey. If I'm wrong, I've been wrong a lot of times today. Fernandez can't keep it in. Now, Michael Kristovich with a turn inside the box. I think it was Siriaga. It's out to Madden. And Madden, great run to the byline. Clips it in. And I think fingertips from Figuera to keep it away from the Bulls runners. Now, SD Raiders at the exact opposite at the end of the field to where they want to be. But that's a free kick. And we've had about 90 seconds of time added on. And James Letter, the captain, waving everyone up. Figuera just wants to put it into the mixer. It's definitely kitchen sink time for SD Raiders. The distance on that. Menham's up, doesn't head it. Hannigan with the second ball. And now back to Hannigan. He crosses to the far post and it's too far for the runner. Fernandez doing his best but will not keep that in play. I'm glad I bought a waterproof jacket because I'm going to need it, I reckon. There's another flash of lightning. Well, so I think it'd be a bizarre decision to call it off now. There's not long left. And the Bulls haven't kept hold of the ball. Here's Hannigan under pressure. Gets the support. And it's the 1-2. But Menham going to use his body. And he's shielded that over the goal line. Menham just doing his best Megan Campbell impersonation. That's a pretty good long throw. He's found Siriaga as well. Siriaga, how much ambition does he have? Down the line towards Jackson, but runs out. More Thunder. SD Raiders will try the left side this time with Sabatu. We had 3 minutes of time added on. McPherson. Decent ball to Fernandez. There's one-on-one with Menham. The runners are coming as quick as they can. It takes a touch and Robertson gathers ahead of Cox Barlow. Figuera counts out the seconds. Robinson booms it forward. Rag keeps it in. Bulls fan asked the ref to check his watch. That was optimistic. And then, well, that's not what they needed. They give away inside their own half. And I think the Bulls, in full game management mode, they'll be moving in slow motion. one last time for self-promotion, as I assume Harry Menon will not take this throw in quickly. And I'll be calling the League One Women's Match of the Round tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. From Harry Denning Centre, Sutherland Strikers versus Hills United. Great start to the season for the women of the Hills, undefeated, leading the league. And Bulls conceding the foul there. That's definitely not a bad place to concede a free kick. And Hannigan is not going to wait for the keeper to play it. He needed to play it as quickly as possible. Big header from Ante Vojvodic. Letter wins a foul, despite Matthew Jackson's protests. And this, you think, this is it. Last chance saloon. And Nick Farmer making sure it's played from the correct place. Fernandez now has got to get this spot on. Plenty of green jerseys in the middle. Here we go. Takes a hop. Oh, it's headed forward, I think, by Madden. Fernandez challenging Suriaga. Here's Hannigan. And that is that. It's victory for Bulls FC Academy. They defeated SD Raiders by 2-1 here at Ernie Smith Reserve. Natia Waraga opened the scoring in the 6th minute, following up after a Flynn Madden shot saved. So that was 1-0 to the Bulls. SD Raiders equalised in the 23rd minute with a Sebastian Malfara, a clever free kick from an acute angle. But the match winner, it was spectacular. It came in the 62nd minute from Zane Helwer, a wonderful individual effort. And that's the Bulls looking to climb the table, they would hope, after this result. SD Raiders person unhappy at it being called match of the round was like, well, why didn't you just win in front of our cameras? But anyway, SD Raiders, they're still in a good position. And of course, they've got plenty to look forward to, including a home Australia Cup game against Rockdale. And details to be announced on the Football New South Wales channels when that's finalised. And there's plenty of games coming up. The 5:30 p.m. game in NPL Men's between Spirit and St George FC, and the 7:15 p.m. NPL Men's game between St George City and Western Sydney Wanderers. There's also the 6:30 p.m. NPL Women's game between Northern Tigers and Illawarra Stingrays, and 12 games across both men's and women's comps tomorrow. But this is Eric Subihano on behalf of Football New South Wales and our broadcast partner Sportscast, and today's camera operator Ong signing off. Thanks for your support. Just remember, coffee and tatters make you feel better, protect the dolls, and we'll see you next time.